Hi, I'm Joseph Graham with Graham's Guide Service. I'm going to give you a few calling tips and tactics, some of the stuff that I use whenever I'm out in the woods. When you talk to elk hunters, everybody's got their own way of doing things, what they've learned, what they've experienced. Whenever it comes to me, I'm typically using a lot more of just cow calls. I run two different calls. I've got a single and a double reed. I typically use the single. It's more of a softer rasp. The double reed is a little bit louder and a little bit has more volume. If I'm trying to reach out a little bit further, I will switch over. If I'm trying to sound like a herd of cows, then I will blow this one, the single, one direction, and I'll blow the double a different direction, and I try to sound like two different cows talking back and forth. When you get out in the woods and you're listening to a group of elk and how they talk is a lot how you learn of what the sounds you need to make, when you need to make them. There's nothing else that'll get you that experience of what worked and what you actually physically have seen in the woods. I will switch over to a bugle if I have a bull that is hung up and I'm working cow calls and he just seems to want to hang up right there. I can go to a small bull bugle and see if I can get him to think, all right, there's a small bull, got him a herd of cows, and I'm gonna go take them away. I don't do a lot of bugling unless I'm trying to just go into the woods and maybe it's dark, because a lot of times you don't hear cows talking in the dark. You'll hear bulls bugling, but very seldom do you hear cows talking in the dark. So I'll use bugles to locate bulls and then try to close that distance and get close to them before I switched over to a cow call. If it's light, a lot of times I won't mess with a bugle. I'll just work the cow calls and make him think he's got some pretty easy cows to go pick up and don't have to fight for them. So that's what I do. I can direct a bull as he's coming in just by the fact that I'll take and make that cow, I'll call it this direction if I want him to go that way, or if I'm trying to get him to turn and go this way. Let's say I want him to come through this opening, I will turn, and I always cup my hand so I can broadcast that call that direction. And so let's just say I'm trying to get him to come this way, I'll just take and I'll just make him think that that cow's walking that way, and that'll get him to turn that direction. If I'm just calling in general, I'll call. And those are some of the things that you'll hear in the woods. A lot of times you hear a meow, 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 meow. If I've got one real close and he's kind of hung up and I'm trying to get him to come this way, then I'll do it really soft. And you do that by, I bite my lip with my teeth to be able to make it come out very soft. And then the double sounds almost exact, except it's a little more deeper tone. So those are the two different sounds that you'll make. They talk about the hyper lip and the estrus call and those things. I mean, you can make those calls. Typically, you don't hardly ever hear a cow doing that. I've used it quite a bit to get a bull to come. Sometimes I've pulled herd bulls away from the cows using it, but it's not a tactic that I use a whole bunch. And just a quick it's more of a whiny sound that they make. You don't hear it very often at all, but you will hear cows talking back and forth to each other, even in the same herd, especially whenever they hear another one over there, they're like, huh. So they just start talking back and forth to you. So a lot of those things work. You know, as far as a bugle, when I'm just trying to get a bull to come on in or locate bulls, it's not a chuckle, it's just a straight bugle. That's pretty much it. Some bulls you'll hear do that, and some bulls will just come out with a chuckle. But all bulls sound a little bit different. And you might think that, you know, typically I can look at a bull or look at a hunter and tell a bull he's gonna be small just by his bugle, but I have been fooled a few times. And I've been fooled by one that sounds raspy, thinking he's gonna be a big bull, and I think it's just because he's hoarse from bugling so much. So those are some of the things that I've learned over the years. I don't think anything except being in the woods and just experiencing it that's gonna get you to be that next step or that next level. But those are some of the things that I've learned that work for me, and I hope it works for you.